Adam Freeman, Rivals.com, here with one of the very best defensive linemen in the country, uncommitted Rivals250 defensive lineman Ernest Willor, back at home here in Maryland. Just visited the University of Maryland for their first game of the year. What was that experience like, going back home and seeing the Terps?
It felt pretty good coming back home, getting to see some of the guys that's around here that's homegrown, and seeing them out on the field, seeing a couple guys I knew for a long time out there on the field.
Cool. Okay, good. And talking to the coaching staff over there, they do a great job recruiting locally. Is that something that they really emphasize to you?
Yeah.
How comfortable was it over there with them?
It was pretty comfortable over there. I've known most of them guys. They've been down there for a little minute now, and I've been going down there for a couple years now, so pretty comfortable with them.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't done a lot of visits during the recruiting process, so it seems like it's really about to kick up here. During the season, you play a lot of Friday night games, so it seems like Saturdays you're going to be out on the road. What visits do you have lined up at this point?
I have schools that I'm trying to get to, but I have no solidified dates yet.
Okay. How many official visits have you already taken?
I haven't taken any yet. I saved them all for the fall.
That's what we figured there. So we're looking forward to seeing where you get out to here this fall. What are some of those schools that you're looking at taking official visits to here this fall?
Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State, Auburn, South Carolina. Just a couple more schools since it's unlimited now. So
yeah. Gotcha. Well, you can take as many of them as you can, I guess, right?
Exactly.
Are you still looking to sign in the early signing period, or do you think you might hold out till February?
Early signing period. I'm planning an early enroll. So.
Okay, sounds good. Let's talk about some of those other schools that you mentioned there. The first one you said, I think, was Penn State. The Nittany Lions have been linked to you for a long time. Even before you transferred down to IMG, you took a couple of visits up there. So when you think about the Nittany Lions and just kind of what they look like in their first week, and the coaching staff over there with Manny Diaz really, in year two here, got his feet under him as a defensive coordinator there. What comes to mind when you think about those guys?
I really like how they get after the ball on pass rush and how they get to their fits. They guys is really great up front, so I feel like if I go there, I got a shot to go play now. So
yeah, and you've worked with some of those guys in the past, trained with them. Denai Dennis Sutton, definitely one of those guys. Has he told you much about what that team looks like from the inside?
Nah, not really. I don't really talk to him about his Penn State stuff. We always just down get into the nitty gritty. We out on the field. So.
Technique work, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. You mentioned Ohio State as well. Potential official visit for them.
Yeah.
When you think about those guys, is it really just Larry Johnson, or is it some other things that really stand out to you?
It's Larry Johnson and a bunch of other things. At Ohio State, every year they in the conversation for winning the Natty, and that's what I'm trying to go do. I'm trying to go and win now, go and play now. So. And they're going to give me an honest shot at doing that. So.
Okay. Looking at the way that defensive line has performed over the last few years, is there anything that really stands out to you, or is it just you're excited about the development there and things like that?
The development, because I know if I go there, I will get better. It's not if, it's how long will it take for me to show everybody that I've gotten better. So.
Okay. You mentioned Auburn as a potential official visit as well. Hugh Freeze back down there as a head coach and back in the SEC, and that seems like he's turning the things around there for Auburn. What's that conversation like between you and the coaching staff there?
Really just trying to get me down there to go see the place. That's really how all it's been right now. So since I haven't really been to many places, and he just got there, because I've been there before, but I wasn't there when he was there. So
what's your overall impression of just the way that he's handled things, turning things around there and building that program up?
I think he's been doing a pretty good job so far, getting a couple guys to flip and sign down there. So that's a pretty hard test to do, and he done did it. So.
Okay, cool. You also mentioned South Carolina. The season didn't exactly start off the way they wanted to, but the Gamecocks have been doing a great job recruiting the DMV here. Is that something that really stands out to you, or is there something else?
Yep. South Carolina does a great job with guys around here, and especially with their D-line guys, they get them right. So.
When you look at the way that defensive front played this first week and some of the guys that they've got on the roster, is there anything that stands out to you?
I really didn't get a chance to see him this week, but I'll probably have something for you when I see it. So.
Okay, cool.
But Coach Sterling, he been on me, so.
I got you. All right, well, there's a lot of guys here in the DMV who keep talking about him and Coach Beamer and those connections that they've made. And a lot of those guys who are committed there end up recruiting other players to come down there with you. Have you heard it from those commits at all?
I've talked to guys before they committed down there. I haven't talked to a bunch of guys after. So.
All right. Well, I'm sure they'll see this interview and start blowing up your phone here in a minute. All right, and decision timeline, you mentioned you want to sign in December, you want to early enroll, correct?
Yep.
Okay, is there any sort of decision timeline in terms of wanting to get this done sooner rather than later, or are you going to take it all the way to December?
I'm going to take it to a couple weeks before December, around that crunch time, commit, and I'm going to sign the papers in December. So.
Sounds good. Okay, and last question is kind of about those coaching relationships. If we opened up your phone right now and kind of look through your DMs, and who would be at the top? Who are the coaches that are really just staying on you all the time right now?
Probably Penn State.
Penn State?
Penn State for sure.
Okay, all right, good, very, very good. Ernest Willor, Rivals 250 defensive lineman. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of your season goes and how this recruiting process goes for you.
Yep, thank you.